Gotta get up. I mean, I was there faithfully every day, and what I did is we got the store together, so we tagged clothes. I mean, expensive clothes, over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I learned a lot about underwear in those days too. we won't go into the conflicts of it, but I know more about underwear now than I ever wanted to know. But it's part of the job. So I worked there about 4.5, 5 years, and then I got my dream job. My coworker, Kathy, was having a little difficulty with the job. She said, "Cindy, you should really apply for the job at People First." And I said, "I don't think I was qualified for it because it had to do with computers and a lot of writing I'm not good at." But I decided I applied for the job and got the job about 2 weeks after my birthday. It was the best birthday gift I could have got. So that's my life with People First of Wisconsin. And it has changed my life, People First. My thing is I'm an advocate for all people with disabilities and without, and I want people to be treated with respect. And I want them to be working in the community and have choices. Because as a little girl, I had no choices. Imagine growing up with no choices and no toys to play with. Everything was always taken away from you. And I was told what I couldn't do. And I'm sorry if I'm going to maybe be, I'm not going to be disrespectful, but psychologists, they need a wake-up call. Because all the things that they said I couldn't do, I could do. But when you're told that you can't do nothing and you're not going to amount to anything, that's what I was believing for years. But I don't have that belief anymore, what I can't do. I still sometimes say in my words, I can't, but it's just but I know I can do it. And at People First, I mean, my job coach, I have a nice job coach from Creative Employment, and she told me way back, "I'll be there for you, I'm not going to do the job for you. So I need to figure out how I'm going to work at People First," and I worked there almost 11 years. Yes, it was rocky at first, you know, from people being used to doing things for me. But I have to say one thing, is because of People First and Special Olympics, and what changed my life. Special Olympics changed my life because of them. I'm fit, you know, I'm active, and then also with Special Olympics and People First, it learned me how to speak up for myself and to be part of the community. I'm an athlete in one sport, and I'm a staff at People First. And I also want to say about the book now. I want to say a few things about why I wrote the book. I wasn't too keen about writing a book. Yeah, this is the book of my life, Spirit of a Champion. A Spirit of the Champion. And at first when I was on the DD board, I served 15 years on the DD board, and Carolyn Hoffman, a good friend of mine, and Bob Kahn, asked me if I would want to write my story. And at first I always asked Mary Claire, I always say no to things. She says, now we have I always say no to things because I still have my guards up. Because I don't want to be exploited or stuff like that. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is for real, and I don't want to be pitied or charity or stuff like that. I want to so I always have my guards up, and that's from being in the institution and if you've been abused, I've been abused in my life, so being abused, and I'm sorry, sometimes I cry about this, I just get teary-eyed. Well, if you've been abused, you got your guards up. I had a hard time trusting people, a lot of people. But now I know I can trust people, and people are for real. So the reason I wrote the book was so we can teach, I can teach 4th graders, where this book is going around the state. Actually, I'm going to be going to about, I think there's 30 schools altogether. And actually my coach, Kevin Seidel, which lives in Grafton, we're going to be going to Grafton, I think it's this grade school in Grafton, and we're going to teach 4th and 5th graders. Actually, this book is for 4th and 5th graders, and we're going to teach them, even if you're having a bad life, you can come out of that, and you can make something of yourself as an adult. So this book, I'll be traveling. I think my first long trip with this book will be October 20th, and we're going way up to Minocqua and Ashland, and that's, I've never even, trust me, I've never been way up there in the North Woods. But
what is the part of it, or do you want me to tell them the series?
Oh, the series is, I can remember it. The series is from the Wisconsin Historical Society, and you can order this book online.
It's famous. It's a series about famous people from Wisconsin.
Right.
So she's on the bookshelf now with
Lambo and Curly Lambo, Frank, and there's people that, and believe it or not, they were writing about people that were already deceased. Of course, I'm alive. So, right. And only one, well, they did, and they had, I guess, the DD board talks to the society, and the lady that we dealt with is very nice. She said, well, I never did a book on somebody alive, but she said, let's take a stab at it. And she was there last week at the one in Madison, and she was very happy with the book. And so this book is not for me to get fame. This is educational. And I hope you in this audience are able to read this book. And in the people you work with, this book is very easy to read. And with the 4th graders, what's going to happen in the back, they have to read, the books go to the school, they read it, and then there's an outline. They have to do some homework on the book, and then I come in and do my story on it. And so then they find out, so this is going to be, and what it is also too is teaching reading. But we have so many kids that can't read, and for whatever reason that is. So it's going to teach literacy, reading, and education. And in closing, I'm going to still do the...
Real quickly, I just want to say, are there any pictures of any famous people?
Oh, yeah. Of course, my teammates, but President Bush, or President Clinton, and I met President Clinton in 2000 at the White House. In 2001, I met President Bush. And I thought Karen Hawley was just kidding with me. She said, well,